Right. Hare Krishna. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. So welcome everybody to this session with the name Master the Mind. So I've started this session with the understanding that every one of us in this world struggles with a great with this mind. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, जितात्मन प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः शीतोष्णसुखदुःखेषु तथा मानपमानयः. जितात्मन प्रशान्तस्य परमात्मा समाहितः. If a person he has controlled his mind, that means all success he has achieved. There is nothing much, nothing more for a person to be achieved. Nothing remains to be achieved. He has achieved the pinnacle of success, the greatest of all success a person can achieve if he can control his mind. So it is such an important subject matter to understand how to control the mind. Some people they ask, if at all, is there any way we can control the mind? Is it possible to control at all? Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that he says a person who's, what is the nature of mind? He says that Arjuna says in Bhagavad Gita, Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramathi balavad dridham. Four things he is telling. Go to the next slide. Four things he is telling. He is telling mind is chanchalam. Chanchalam is very restless and turbulent. It is extremely turbulent, obstinate, and very strong. Very strong. It just can't so easily control the mind, the nature of mind. And who is telling this? Arjuna is telling some 5,000 years ago. The people who lived during that time, 5,000 years ago, they were people with very, their character, their behavior, their strength, all was immeasurable as compared to the people those who are living now. But he is expressing that this mind is very restless, very turbulent. He is telling that I have fought with great valiant warrior like Bhismadev, Karna, Drona, all these great warriors in the world. But I have not seen an opponent, a adamant, a powerful opponent like this mind. That he is expressing to Krishna. So what is this nature of mind? When the mind is not controlled, what happens? You see in this particular slide shows when our mind is not controlled or when we are controlled by the mind. And what happens? This is what you see in the picture, in the slide shows what happens. We waste a lot of time. The uncontrolled mind leads to lot of colossal wastage of time. People keep wondering, trying to figure out what they are going to do, or we tend to hang on into our smartphone and keep on looking into our Facebook account, although there is nothing much important. People keep on scrolling their account just for like that. Or sometimes all the crimes in this world that happens is because of this uncontrolled mind. People fight with each other. You see in the slide, the rightmost corner, two ladies are fighting. This is called tough catching fighting. They are fighting. That's because of also uncontrolled mind. A lot of venereal disease such as AIDS, syphilis, gonorrhea, all this comes because a person's mind is uncontrolled. In fact, the our Ayurveda says that 90% of the disease is caused by mind. I'll again repeat the statement. 90% of the disease is caused by the mind. So that's how all the trouble we invite because of this uncontrolled mind. So why it is so difficult to control the mind? Why? Because Krishna says that bhumirapo nalo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakritirashtada. He says this mind is not an ordinary element. The mind is not anybody's property. The mind is my energy, my property. He says bhumir apo analo kham mana. He says mana, mind. This mind is my energy. If something does not belong to you, how can you control? Say for example, you are going in the street and you find the dog is barking, but the dog barks or stops barking or barks at somebody at the indication of his master, because the dog is the property of the master. So it is completely under the control of the master. Similarly, this mind, Krishna says, is my property. Ahankara, mana, buddhir, ahankar. All these are my property. So if something is Krishna's energy, how can we control it? How difficult it is. So understanding that this mind is a property of the Supreme Lord, it is given to us. So we are just its in charge, not its ultimate controller. The Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, who is the creator of all element, who is the father of everybody, he is the creator of this mind. That is says in Bhagavad Gita. So there are these three analogies exist. One is called body, mind, and spirit. He says that the body, this mind is superior to body, and the spirit is superior to the mind. So mind cannot be controlled by any mechanical arrangement. No mechanical adjustment will be able to one will be able to regulate this mind, because this mind is superior to any body or any physical matter. It says indriyani parani ahur indriyebhya param mana manatastu parabuddhi iya buddhe paratastu saha. He says that the mind is superior to the body and spirit is superior to mind. So naturally, a superior thing can control the inferior things. Now, if some in a particular object you go to the market, if it is 100 rupees, can you purchase it with 10 rupees? No. So if you have 10 rupee, you cannot purchase or you cannot accomplish something which is 100 rupees. Similarly, this body or the physical training or the kind of seminars we attend or anything we do, it has very little scope to control the mind, because the mind is superior to this. But the spirit is superior to the mind. So, by no mechanical means, by no physical adjustment, by no artificial ways, by no amount of attending any so-called seminars, things like that, we can easily control the mind. It is not so easy, because mind, is far beyond the reach of the physical element. By no artificial. So that's why we have coined this by reading this Bhagavad Gita by the instructions of the founder Acharya of International Society of Krishna Consciousness, His Divine Grace, Abhayacharana Arvinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Through his works and by reading the Bhagavad Gita, which he has written, from there we have coined and collected what he says how to control mind. So we have coined an acronym called MASTER. The 7 tools and given in Bhagavad Gita are easier way to control this mind. So let's see what is this master. M double A, although master has a word M single A, but here it is M double A S T E R, master. So this technique will help you to some extent control the mind, regulate the mind. Let's see what is this master. Yes, go to that. First M. M is mantra meditation. So this particular slide you see a person is doing meditation. There are so many ways people do meditation to control the mind. We all know people go to Himalaya. People keep there's something some people call Mauni Babas. They keep silence to control the mind. Some people they do fasting to control the mind. Some people do pranayam to control the mind. So many things to do. But Shastra says that in Kali Yuga there is no way by which a mind can be easily controlled other than by this Mahamantra. This word, if you look into this word called mantra, this word itself suggests mantra. Tra means the word tra comes from the word niyantran. So in English, niyantran means control. So mind can be controlled by mantra. And in Kali Yuga, the best mantra or the Mahamantra which is chanted to control the mind is called Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If repeatedly you chant this mantra in morning or in the evening, wherever, say 1 round, 108 times, if you chant this Mahamantra, one will be able to control his mind very easily. Many people they are practicing this Mahamantra. In English we call it chanting meditation, Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this is prescribed meditation for this Kali Yuga, for the age of Paril, to control the mind. You try this by chanting this Mahamantra, you will see your mind will be controlled to a very great extent. Next is oral reception. The first A is oral reception about the Supreme, hearing about Krishna. There are so many Vedic literature available to us. There is Bhagavad Gita, there is Ramayana, there is Mahabharata, there is Srimad Bhagavatam, there is so many Puranas, literature filled with so much timeless wisdom. We need to hear them. We need to find out a spiritual master, a teacher who can teach us and hear about Krishna. Krishna himself says, Man mana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mam evaisi uktebhyam atmanam mat parayana. He says that if you hear about me, gradually your mind will be controlled. The restless, turbulent mind, because from the very beginning of my session I told you, this mind is Krishna's energy. It is not our energy, it's not our property. So we just can't control it artificially. If you hear about Krishna every day, little, hear about him. In the YouTube, in the so many lectures are available by devotees, Srila Prabhupada, many great devotees, those are practicing this. So if you hear about them, hear about Krishna from them, then the mind will be gradually, easily controlled. It will be free from all misgivings. The mind will give up its insanity, will give up its turbulent nature, give up its demoniac tendency which is there in the mind, and gradually, by hearing about the Supreme Lord, Sri Krishna, Krishna has done so many pastimes. Filled his Vrindavan, Dwaraka, Mathura, Kurukshetra, all these places are now also existing in India. And all these places 5,000 years ago he came and did so many pastimes. So many pastimes. He stole butter, he killed so many demons, including Kamsa, Bakasur, Aghasur, so many demons, Jarasandh. In the battlefield of Kurukshetra, millions of demons were killed, and he gave this timeless wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. He spoke, and then like so many pastimes he did. So if you hear about Krishna from devotees, gradually this mind will be controlled because this mind is Krishna's energy. As soon as the mind links to its source is Krishna, then immediately the mind will be controlled. It will become controlled like a docile cow giving sweet milk. The next is aloofness. What is aloofness? Aloofness in English is called detachment. We need to cultivate little detachment. If we don't cultivate this quality of detachment, because in this world there are harmful things, harmless things, good things, bad things. This world is a combination of both. There are right things, there are wrong things, there are good people, there are bad people, there are useful things, useless things. So we need to detach ourselves from those things that are detrimental, that are harmful, that are that those things which waste our time. We need to cultivate detachment from them. Things that waste our colossal time. So much time is wasted through gossiping, internet chatting, just hanging around. So we need to cultivate little detachment because time is very less. Our all of us we're going to live for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, and in that also so much time is goes in here and there. So we need to cultivate detachment from those things which don't have benefit in the long term. People keep on playing PUBG. PUBG is a colossal wastage of time. So much time gets wasted. People keep playing for 4 hours, 8 hours. Keep on watching movies. Those who stimulate lusty desires. Those who stimulate one's violent nature. So one has to cultivate detachment from all these things. That's why that is called aloofness. Remaining aloof from those things which are not effective in a long run, which waste a person's time. A person's purpose in life is wasted because all of us have got this human form of life and all of us have higher responsibility. If we don't cultivate detachment from those things, those misgivings, then ultimately the purpose of our life is going to be foiled. And those are these things which actually disturb our mind. The mind it gets disturbed with those things which actually highly distractive. And out of them, this media, communications, how much we need in our life, we have to find out how much I need internet is filled with useless things and also harmful things. So we need to cultivate, we need to know what are those things which are only necessary for me, just take this much, and all other things are, frankly speaking, most of the students, most of the people, who hang around with internet, actually, they do useful work only 1 to 2% of the time, with 1 to 2% of the content which is given in the internet. But 98% of the time and 98% of the content from internet is not so much relevant to our life. So we have to cultivate this quality of aloofness. Next is surrendering to a superior spiritual master. Thus, mind cannot be controlled on our own. Already I told you from the beginning of our talk. All attempt made to control this mind on our own will prove a great failure in time to come. It is not just possible to control the mind, just impossible. Unless and until a person surrenders to a spiritual master. You see, Arjuna, what a person of what caliber he was, what a warrior, what a strength he had. Practically, he is the one man who could have defeated all the Kauravas. That was his strength. That is Arjun. But that Arjun felt, he felt the power of mind to be so overwhelming in the battlefield of Kurukshetra on the first day itself, at the outset of Mahabharata war, that he felt like giving up and going to the forest. He was such a powerful person. So he got defeated. But he became victorious because he accepted Supreme Lord Sri Krishna as his spiritual master. He told, "Oh Lord, you are my spiritual master. Please instruct me. What should I do? How should I act in life?" So, like that, we also should do. We should accept a spiritual master. We should find out to whom and we should surrender to him and we should obey him. We should cultivate this. At least one person should be there in our life to whom we cultivate sincere, utter obedience. If we cultivate this, then the mind, there is no scope for the mind to create disturbance in our life. So we have to find out that spiritual master. What are the qualifications of spiritual master? That I'll tell in the next video. But in this video, just the necessity of surrendering our life to a spiritual master is stressed here. On our own, we just can't control this mind. We need to cultivate obedience to a spiritual master. And the T is try, try, try. Keep trying. Again and again you will fail. Again and again you keep trying. Keep trying. Our founder Acharya of International Society, Srila Prabhupada, his spiritual master told him that you preach this message of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu all over the world. So he was in India and he was trying how to get a ticket in 60s, 1960, 1950. He was trying to go to America or foreign countries to preach this message of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But he was not becoming successful. He was not getting a ticket or he, at such advanced stage he was failing. But he nevertheless, he never gave up. Keep trying, kept trying, kept trying, trying. And when he was 70 years old, that time he became successful. What a big success he got. All over the world, by his preaching work, people started becoming devotee of Krishna. They started taking this message of Bhagavad Gita. So he got such overwhelming success in his life. That's because of he kept trying, kept trying. So similarly, Krishna also tells to Arjun that Arjun, this mind is so flickering, so obstinate that as soon as you try to regulate it, as soon as you try to bring it into control, it will again, slip out of your hand, slip out of your control. Again, it will go away. So again, you bring it back. It will keep going out, and you keep again bringing it back. Keep trying. This we have to keep doing it. And next, engagement. All of you know this famous saying called an ideal brain is the devil's workshop. Now, mind is empty, then it keeps thinking, ruminating of harmful things, how to create destruction of ours. So we have to always find out a suitable engagement for ourselves. So much so, Krishna speaks in Bhagavad Gita a sixth chapter called Karma Yoga. Now, yoga means that which will control the mind, and karma means activity. So, karma yoga literally means controlling the mind through activity. So, if you can find out the right type of engagement, suitable engagement for yourself, you will find that this mind will be very easy to control. All of us have to do that. We have to find out what is our prescribed duty. If you are a student, you keep yourself studying, trying to get a good score. And if you are working, then try to engage yourself in fruitful engagement so that you will be able to easily avoid the harmful engagement. So if there is right type of engagement, the mind can be very easily controlled. And the last R, that says regulation in eating and sleeping. So the more you are regulated, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita in 6th chapter verse number 17, he says, Itta ahara viharasya yukta chestasya karmasu yukta swapnava bodhasya yogo bhavati dukkhaha. Dukkhaha, he says dukkhaha means you can stop all the misery. Dukkhaha, in Sanskrit, ha means stop, finish, end. The finish, end of all misery can be brought about by this regulation in eating and sleeping. All of us are eating and sleeping, but you have to just regulate it. Our life has to be regulated. There should be proper time when you go to sleep in the night. Best is go to take rest very early, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10:30. That is the best. Not beyond that. Similarly, rising early in the morning before the Brahma Muhurta time, and proper six of adequate amount of six to 6 hours of sleep, and regulated prasadam food, that is vegetarian. Non-vegetarian diet or food which is kept for a very long time, or food which is too spicy, pungent, all these food, they immediately agitate our mind. There is a saying called जैसे खाओगे अन्न वैसा होगा मन. So the food is very regulated. The food is especially if the food is offered to the Supreme Lord called prasad, which we offer it to the Supreme Lord and eat that food prasad. So that prasad is mercy of the Lord. If you eat Krishna prasadam, mind can be very easily controlled, and just it will be easy to control the mind. So one has to be regulated in his eating, sleeping, and recreation. One should make sure that should not indulge in harmful recreation such as which is healthy to body and mind are welcome. So these techniques, 7 techniques which I shared with all of you, called master, MAASTER. These 7 things will help you to easily control the mind. You can realign yourself, practice, see yourself, and you can write back to us, ask questions that how to do it. I have my Gmail ID called Dashrath Priya Das @gmail.com. In case you have any questions regarding this, you can ask us. I will be able to happy to help you. Thank you all very much for being with us.